Time for another Cougar Insider Show here on MC22 as we talk soccer at Columbia College, both the women's and the men program. The head coach for both sides is John Klein. My name is Cosmo, play-by-play voice of the Cougars. First of all, your ladies off to a 9-0 start, number 5 in the country, the highest ranking in program history. I know that's not a number that you guys necessarily concentrate on, but certainly one that you should celebrate and be proud of.
Yeah, I think it's deserved. Finish in the Final 8 last year, start high in the ratings, and do everything you can in your non-conference schedule. Go undefeated. 6 or 7 shutouts in those first 9 games. I think they're playing great soccer, and it's a worthy rating for them right now.
And at the second match, the opponent escapes me now, but you trailed 1-0 and then tied it, traded 2-1 and tied it up, and then ended up with that winning goal in the last seconds before overtime with Lori Frew with the head ball off the corner kick, and that was just a match that showed how resilient this team is.
Yeah, and Lori Frew's going to do that for you. She's going to find the big goal when it counts. She's going to make the big tackle. It was a big result, digging an early hole first 10 seconds, played backwards on our own with the ball to start the game, and coughed it up, got pressured. So, but we knew we had 89.5 minutes still to get that back. I think the girls were comfortable, but a great result. And Midland now is a top 20 program. We had another top 20 victory against Taylor, Indiana. All of our 5 non-conference early games were ranked opponents or receiving votes opponents. So they're all good results, and now we've started off well in conference.
And again, yeah, clicking on all cylinders. You mentioned Lori Frew. For a while there, it seemed like she was obviously scoring a bunch of her goals. Had 3 or 4 penalty kick goals early on, but now she's really finding it at all aspects with her head. She had 2 or 3 head ball goals and a huge helping of assists as well. There's not much that she doesn't do for you on the field. Number 4 is pretty much the Energizer Bunny out there, leads the offense.
Yeah, her work rate's unbelievable, defensively and offensively. Makes more slide tackles than probably any girl in the NAI, maybe any guy in the NAI. And like you said, she'll put her head on the ball. She's very aggressive, making runs into the box. She strikes a ball well with both feet. She can chop a ball and dribble a ball with both feet. So, we did have her slightly farther back, more in a defensive midfield type role with occasional advancements forward. But now she's in a more attacking midfield role, and she thrives there. Double
digits in goals for her, and then Kelsey Mertz. Such a big player, literally physically and offensively, just continues to find the net in her sophomore year. She, as a freshman last year, was playing looked like a senior out there.
Yeah, she is. She's so strong and so athletic. Got such good size. She bodies off defenders. She can hold the ball so well. Her endurance is tremendous, her fitness and her pace. So she gets to the right spots. She's finishing, and she puts tremendous amount of pressure on defensive units that are trying to build out of the back.
A couple big road wins over Freed Hardman and then over in St. Louis with Harristow. What do you think has been the key to the success of your ladies team at 9-0 right now, both between the 4-0 mark in conference and those 5 non-con that you mentioned?
I think the work rate, the confidence, and the just the understanding that we want to play in the offensive half. We want to pressure, we want to steal goals, and typically we get off, we find an early lead, and we just keep putting the pressure on. So those girls understand that system. They're not scared to work hard, and right now they just play really a very nice style of soccer.
I mean, obviously last year was last year, but you made the mention to the historic run to the round of 8, and I'm sure some of that still obviously carries over. So many of your ladies were on that team a year ago. That has to be a momentum boost for you guys. They got an opportunity to realize how close they were to being one of the Final 4 teams.
Well, we've had some great results, in recent years. A big win over Mobile a few years ago, and that was a top 5 win, and that was on a Lori Frew free kick. To upset and advance past Lindsey Wilson in the round of 16 to get to the Final 8. So now they know that they can compete with top 10 programs in the country, and they realize that there's you cannot relax and take a day off. It's a team that does not want to be upset. And at this point, I think they're going to be tested for sure by all the conference opponents. Being a ranked opponent, it's such a great opportunity to knock off a big team like that. But our girls come to play every day, and I really like the group.
Going from the offensive side with Lori and Kelsey, and certainly there's plenty of others, but on the defensive half, your back four of Poirier and Taylor and Tamke and Katie Cook playing in kind of a new role in that left back spot. Those four defenders really play that defensive system that you guys have building from the back out up top.
That group's exceptional, and there's tremendous speed back there. And Jordan playing on that right side is as much of an offensive threat as she is a defensive threat. Katie Cook and Sarah Taylor are so comfortable on the ball, and they have tremendous speed and great tacklers. And then Katie Cook has just really adapted to that left side. But all four of those girls can play with the ball at their feet. We're comfortable building out of the back, and they're a key reason that we're in the position we are.
I know you talked about it in our last broadcast about Jordan Poirier from Helias High School, about on that right back. She'll go up and attack and be back on defense before you blink. And I swear, I'm like, how is she already back inside the 18, shutting down a transition play, coming back the other direction? But she does that and gives you the opportunity to pick up several assists and even find the goal occasionally.
Yeah, tremendous pace, and just for a petite little girl, she's extremely strong. She can strike a ball from 30, 35 yards out. She serves a great ball from that right side, so extremely versatile and has become a tremendous leader in this program.
And then your goalie system with Madison Boykin, the Columbia girl that's been here, was here last year in a backup role, and then you get Aaron Jones added to the mix coming over from the Mizzou Tiger program. And you've used them as a 1-2, kind of a two-headed monster. Madison in the first half, Aaron in the second half. Sometimes some coaches may say that's a recipe for disaster, but this is clearly working.
Neither girl deserves to be on the bench. I've said that before. They both work hard. They both have strengths. Madison is outstanding at coming off her line. She's big and strong and fearless. Erin has done the same. She's made big saves. She comes off her line as well, and she's so comfortable on the ball. Really gives us an added dimension back there of building out of the back. We can play back to her feet, as comfortably as playing to Poirier and Tamke and Sarah Taylor. So both keepers have done tremendous things, and at this point, I've liked the way it's gone so far. I plan to stay with that system.
Keep it going throughout the rest of the season. Up next year, Hannibal on the road is always a tough place to play. And those are big conference matchups. And then you guys come back home, get ready for homecoming as well. Talk about the next couple of matches, how important those are, especially at Hannibal.
Well, they are important, and I think we have Hannibal and maybe home Williams Baptist and Stevens. That stretch, on paper, we would appear to be the stronger opponent, and certainly our girls aren't going to take anything lightly. But if statistically, if we are the strongest team and we can run through those three games, that gets us to 12-0 before a really tough stretch in October, and that's going to be a real test in October. So right now we don't want to take any team lightly. We certainly don't want to relax. I don't think the girls will. Absolutely.
Who's somebody that surprised you maybe a little bit? You saw them all summer, then get into camp, and then the season gets going, and you start playing some soccer games. Who's one or two ladies that have really stood out and surprised you with what they brought?
Maybe I look to the two center midfielders, Emma Laney, of course, who's done a terrific job. She's out of Raleigh. She's very comfortable on the ball, and she works so hard. She just grinds in there, and she'll do whatever you ask. And then Molly Burke has really stepped up, out of Moberly and entering her junior year, and she's been very solid in the middle. So we kind of needed to find some people to get comfortable in there. That allowed us to move Lori Frew a little farther up the field, and so I think those two girls have really stepped up.
Well, if you've got a young lady that's playing soccer, you just have to look at the roster and find this women's team, and it's sixth year of the program, I believe. Year number 6. It's basically a local all-star team. It's got to be part of the plan you put together. You look down that list and you see the Hickmans, the Rockbridge, Helias, Raleigh, you mentioned, Moberly. Of course, some of your first players signed here were from Moberly and the Spartans program. So a lot of fun to watch and see a lot of the local kids here.
Yeah, it is great that this team is primarily built on mid-Missouri players. And as you look forward, you look out at the local high schools, there's a terrific grouping of players that have already been on campus. Some sophomores, freshmen, a couple of juniors that we're considering, and even a couple of seniors right now. at local schools that are thinking about Columbia. So for sure, it is the foundation of our program, and we'll continue to do that, I think,
a lot of fun
as we move forward.
Oh, sorry, Coach. A lot of fun. Come to watch the Cougars undefeated at 9-0, number 5 in the country. And come watch them at home, ColumbiaCougars.com for the full schedule. Of course, the October 7th date is homecoming as well. See both teams play that day. We'll come back, talk about the men's team. They're on quite a little winning streak right now. Back after this, more with Coach Klein talking Cougar soccer on the Cougar Insider Show.
Attention Mediacom Internet customers. Are you ready to go even faster? Boost your speed from up to 60 to up to 100 meg for just $10 more a month. Or speed boost to up to 200 meg for just $20 more a month for 1 year. That's up to 3 times faster than you're going now. Whether you're uploading, downloading, surfing, or streaming, adding speed boost makes the time you spend online faster, better, and smoother than ever. Supercharge your internet for as little as $10 more a month for 1 year. Call 888-SIMPLIFY today. With TiVo, you can record shows to watch later, of course, but you can also access popular video apps right on your TV. And you can watch your recordings or stream live TV on your mobile device, making any screen in your home a TV screen. TiVo's free app even lets you schedule your recordings when you're not at home.
Seriously, you have to watch this show.
Don't mind if I do. With TiVo, you'll never have to miss a thing. For special offers on TiVo, call 888-SIMPLIFY.
The average family uses 7 internet devices at the same time. From online grocery shopping to online doctor visits to online fitness, we're more connected than ever. By 2022, a typical home could have 500 smart devices. That's why at Mediacom, we've increased all our speeds, and we're bringing gigabit speeds to every community our internet serves. So while technology is changing fast, we'll continue to stay ahead.
More Cougar soccer here on the Cougar Insider Show, MC22. My name is Cosmo, play-by-play voice of the Cougar soccer squads, both men and women. The head coach of both those teams, John Klein, here as we flip the script from your number 5 ranked ladies team, the men's team trying to edge their way into that top 25, and maybe a chance to do that this week with the 6 wins in a row. Pretty solid victories.
I would think so. We were just sitting right outside that top 25. I think the number 26 spot last week, we won 2 games. I think there were a few losses in front of us, and really our 2 losses, are to the number 3 and number 7 teams in the country. The number 3 team was double overtime, and I can still picture Michael Mayberry having some terrific opportunities in that match. He had a couple terrific opportunities up at Mid-America. So those were winnable soccer games, and another opponent that we beat, Central Methodist, is ranked like 16th or 17th. So I feel that the team's certainly worthy of a top 25 spot, and I would think this is going to be the week.
Yeah, so many close matchups early in the season where it was 1 goal difference, and you guys were having trouble finding the goal, even though you were playing excellent in those matches, as you mentioned, against those ranked teams, and had the 1-0 results in the loss column. But then you started to find the rhythm and getting some goals, and the offense has come together, and this team's rattled off 6 wins in a row. What's been the key to that, do you think?
I think there were like 15 new faces in this group, and it was we spent the first 3 or 4 weeks trying to figure out who belongs where, who's most comfortable where, and I think we've started to settle into that. We're comfortable with our backs. We're starting to be more creative in the attack. Or we've moved Per-Adrian Severa to the left side midfield. He's very dangerous over there. Found 2 center midfielders that are very comfortable, and we've just become a little more comfortable in the offensive zone, and certainly with Nicolau Neto in goal, you're never out of a soccer game. So this group is very capable, and I'm pleased with how they've developed over the last 5 or 6 games. Nicolau
is big on paper, and then when you see him in person and even up close watching warm up in goal or playing in the games, he seems even bigger than the 6'3", 6'4", as advertised. He really is a big goalkeeper.
he's got tremendous size and tremendous heart, and plays with a lot of emotion, very vocal, you know, really a shot stopper, and he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's the full package for sure. You know, I hate to go out on a limb. We've had some terrific goalkeepers, but he may be the best that we've ever had at Columbia.
Well, you go back to that Central Methodist game, and in a tight game that was scoreless late in the first half, and he ends up making a save on a PK, and then you go back within, I forgot, 5 minutes maybe, and you get what proved to be the game-winning goal the other direction. That certainly was a game that he stole from the Eagles.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and you know, I don't think it was a guess. I think he reads the game. He read the shooter. He made the terrific save, and you know, fortunately for us, you know, that gives us an opportunity to win a game 1-0, and that's all it takes. You know, if you can get shutouts, you only need to score 1 goal. But fortunately, we've been starting to score goals, and you know, I think we're a pretty balanced squad. You
mentioned Michael Mabry on the offensive side in his second year here at Columbia College. It took him a little bit, finally found the net, and he got another one the other night in the College of Pharmacy matchup. Now wearing number 2, what is he bringing extra to this level in his senior season?
I think his work rate is so high. He played at a pretty good level over the summer, and he came in fit and excited and hungry to be a leader, certainly an attacking leader. And it took him a while to find the goal, but his work rate has never fallen short, and now it's starting to come for him. And in his absence, Joey Ketting stepped up and scored some big goals, and that's been good. So really, it's a pretty deep group, and you know, we found a few additional players that can come in and make some contributions.
And as you mentioned, I was going to say, there's not near as many local kids on the men's team, with some more international players in other spots. But Joey Ketting, a local former Rockbridge Bruin, leads the team in goals right now. Has 4 and a couple big goals early in the year, a couple game winners.
Really big ones. I mean, we traveled to the middle of Kansas and played McPherson, Kansas. You know, had a lot of that game and a lot of control of that game, but couldn't find the goal. It took to the final 50 seconds of the second overtime to get that goal. Otherwise, we were driving home with a tie. I can picture the goals. I don't necessarily know who the opponents were,
right.
But he scored some big goals, and really happy for him.
He's a big guy and gets in there and kind of plays with his back to the goal and can turn on a shot pretty quickly. I asked you the same question on the women's side, but who's been a player or two on this men's team that's gone 6 wins in a row that's surprised you a little bit with what they've been able to put out on the field?
You know, a player that we knew could be a dangerous and very effective player is Mateus Lima. And, you know, he came in, he's had some knee surgeries in the past, and last year it was kind of a grind for him. He just always looked in pain, but all of a sudden he's just taken his game to a new level in the center of the midfield. He runs it for us. He wins a tremendous amount of tackles. Strong left-footed player. He can strike a ball, distribute a ball. So I think he's certainly done a great job. I think Casey Bartlett-Scott maybe, I mean, I don't know that he's a surprise. We anticipated that he'd be a great player, but he is a new player to the program and has tremendous speed. He could probably play that left midfield. He can play center back, but what we think is very effective is him at the outside left back, making forward runs, and then Peril sit for him. So we've kind of got a good little thing going on that left side with Pere Severa and Casey Bartlett-Scott.
And with Matias Sarai battling through some injuries, Scott certainly filled that role very nicely and picked up a couple big goals and really haven't lost. I mean, it's hard to replace Matia, what he does, especially in the air with winning balls with his head back there in the center back, but Bartlett-Scott has filled in very well in that need back there on those back 4.
Yeah, he can play in the center back, and like you said, Matia's been nursing some injuries, so we've put him in there. You know, he likes to get forward. He even asked me earlier in the year, you know, if he could play forward. You know, I think when we initially split up in first or second day, forwards over here, defenders over here, he put himself in that forward group. But, you know, he's a backfield player that can move forward.
And this AMC conference, as we've watched on the men's side, some upsets over this past weekend, and it's just trying to figure out where it's all going to sort out. Obviously, if you take care of your own business, it doesn't matter what happens in the other matchups, but a big match at Hannibal.
That's always a big game for our men's program, and it's not been easy to win up in Hannibal. It's always a nice, beautiful fall day, and you know, you're playing on grass, and it's the trees are changing, the leaves are changing colors. You go up there thinking it's going to be a really pleasant day of soccer, but they're always very talented, and it is a smaller field. It's not the smoothest surface, so I think it's caused us some problems. But our guys are playing with a tremendous amount of confidence, and I do feel good going up there this week.
As far as both programs, I mean, as I mentioned, obviously the men's team's been here for a while, but with the women's teams, what are the things that both teams need to do to get better down this second half of the season?
Yeah, I think what we've focused on both teams is trying to play better possession soccer, and I think when time comes, we can be very athletic, we can pressure and be very aggressive, but we'd like to move the ball, more comfortably side to side, swing the ball around the back, and pick our moments to go forward and not just keep possession, but attack at the right moments. And I think we've seen major strides in the last 3 or 4 games in that respect. Especially
on the men's side, where you start picking up momentum. You were so close with some of those early matches and ended up with some losses, and then went through that long stretch without being able to find the goal, and now the guys are being rewarded for some good effort and finding the net.
Yeah, I think there's a balance between applying pressure and immediately attacking, but not getting anything out of it, and coughing up the ball, to picking our moments and possessing at the right moments. So and I think most teams do. They spend a lot of time on possession, and that is. But we've gotten dramatically better at it in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
A couple non-con opponents. As I know, Saturday, the big homecoming matchup, a couple non-con opponents coming in, but October 7th will be another chance for you to watch both teams in action. The 30th, Williams Baptist coming in conference play. How do you balance on the weeks? I mean, as far as practice is concerned, I know with being the head coach of both teams, what is a practice? Somebody asked that, the other day, like, how does he coach both teams? How does that work?
I really enjoy that part of it, and each day, our staff knows we're going to be on the field for 3.5 or 4 hours, and personally, I'd rather be on the field than sitting at the desk. So, out there, we've had tremendous weather, and we've got the beautiful turf field that even if it rains, we don't have to miss training. And our training sessions, for the most part, are the men's practice is a repeat of the women's practice. And maybe as we get later into the season, the teams might need different things, different focuses. But the staff's very good. Meg and Gordon Ling, they do great things, and they've got tremendous ideas. I think we're creative. There's a lot of variety to our sessions, and I don't think none of the staff gets bored or frustrated at being out there for so long. And it certainly works best when we play back-to-back matches as well. There were a few matches this year that we don't wind up getting a women's game when we got a men's game, and vice versa. That kind of throws us off a little bit. We might be out of town and somebody has to stay back with the girls to make sure there's a training session. That's the most complicated. But if we stay on top of it on the front end and get double headers, it's really not that difficult to manage.
Well, the women's team 9-0. The men have won 6 in a row and 7-2. And again, ColumbiaCougars.com for more on the players, the teams, and the schedule, of course, when you get a chance to watch them in person at our Marvin Owens. Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Cougars again off to great starts, and the soccer teams with a couple home matches this weekend, and then homecoming on the 7th to celebrate several sports and festivities here at Columbia College. For Sports on Demand, free demand, you can watch and replay more on the cable box, right from your cable box here on MC22. This has been the Cougar Insider Show. Thanks for watching.
Video and music fans,
you don't have to settle for this. You can watch like this.
access apps like Pandora, YouTube, and Netflix right on your TV with Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
So, I've got the concert tickets in my cart.
My wife is seriously gonna freak.
She's been dropping hints for months.
I'm totally on the ball. Just a few more clicks
and I'm husband of the year.
I'm buffering.
Eh.
I lost the tickets.
I have Extreme, and the concert was awesome.
I have DSL, and my wife hates me.
Don't suffer the buffer. Get Mediacom Internet with speeds up to 60 meg for just $19.99 a month for a year. When you download the Mediacom Connect mobile care app, you can troubleshoot issues, look at your data usage, pay your bill, get appointment reminders, and even schedule a time for us to call you without ever leaving the couch. It's like having your own customer service agent.
Remember, your TiVo install is tomorrow.
And technician right in your phone. Mediacom Connect Mobile Care. Download the free app today from iTunes or Google Play.